getting there, aren't we?
Next week.
All right.
Hello and welcome to the 29th episode of the Backburners. I'm Dylan Sherman.
And I'm Sam Tiller. We want to thank you for lending your ears for another hour of non-stop sports entertainment.
Oh boy, we took a bit of a sabbatical, didn't we?
Yeah, 4 weeks. You know, we had things to do, places to go, people to see.
We did. We had to celebrate the holidays privately.
Yes.
Privately.
Exactly. We are public figures.
That's right.
But we do like to keep our private lives just that, private. Yeah.
How did you celebrate Christmas? What did you do?
I was at home with my family, the half that didn't get COVID. So, yeah, it was nice. It was quiet and small and nice, and we had a fantastic prime rib that my father whipped up on the smoker, and it was delicious.
Meat.
Yeah.
I love meat. My Christmas was the opposite. It was loud, rambunctious.
As usually is with Schwartz family gatherings.
Yes. It was also a super spreader event.
Yes.
Yep.
I heard.
Yes. I did come down with the Rona. But I'm happy to say I'm all healed. I'm all good.
You on that Omi?
I had the Omi. A steady dose of ivermectin and
Some horse tranquilizers.
Really, really saved my ass.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Groundbreaking news. Young man survives COVID. Wow.
he did. He did survive.
All I had to do is drink a little bleach.
Yep. I was pumped up with vitamins. My dad's girlfriend is all about vitamins and natural. I had enough drugs in me to put down a small dog.
That's good.
It was good.
Yeah, but they're like healthy drugs.
Healthy drugs.
Yeah,
vitamins.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the best thing you can do when
Bleach.
you're sick.
Yeah, a lot of bleach. Oh man. In other news, it's my second to last show in person.
Woohoo! I don't have
Yes.
to sit across from you anymore.
Yes. Which means you're hopefully going to get a new roommate. And we might have the solution. It begs the question, do you need a roommate, or are you looking for a new place to live that's actually within your budget? Are you searching for a place to live and who to share it with that adds to your already busy life? Chillo is here to cure that headache. Introducing the Chillo app, a place to find a roommate and a rental home on the same platform. Finding a roommate on Chillo is fast and easy. Simply create your profile, swipe through potential roommates, match, message, and meet. You need a place to live. View listings for rental homes and message verified landlords on the Chillo app. Find your next roommate or place to live on Chillo. And for every app download, Chillo is donating $1 to Catch Idaho, a local nonprofit dedicated to ending homelessness in Idaho. Download on the iOS App Store today. Dang it. I was so close.
And you shit on me for not being able to read.
I was so close.
That transition was smooth, though. You caught me off guard.
Gosh darn it. It is worded a little funny.
It is.
Find a place to live and who to share it with adds stress you're already. Yeah, that's
It's a little bit of a tongue twister.
It is. It is. Oh, well, it's good to be back. Let's get this on the road, shall we?
Yeah, let's get into it.
We haven't done Did and I Disagree in a long time
No.
because we didn't do it for the holiday extravaganza.
Yeah, we already had so much planned.
The non-denominational holiday extravaganza.
Yes.
I took the prompt this week because it's kind of that time of year now. I think that the college football transfer portal is mostly bad. It's more bad than good, I think.
Okay. Hey, lay out your argument. You got to
right.
explain it. You can't just make a statement
No,
and not
I know.
back it up.
I know. So it's a very complex issue that we're obviously not going to cover in our, however 5-minute debate. From a coach's perspective, it must be an absolute nightmare because you don't know who's going to be on your team at any given point. We've seen players opt out in the middle of the year or, enter the transfer portal in the beginning of the year, middle of the year, and now it's kind of the time, end of the season, where people are going to start making decisions. So from a coaching perspective, it's got to be just a nightmare, first and foremost. second of all, I think it incentivizes players to pack up their ball and go home when something doesn't go their way. Now, there obviously are situations where entering the transfer portal is reasonable for a player, right? Whether they want to be closer to family, whatever it may be, right? There are some situations where it's like, all right, I understand that. You know what? Go play somewhere else. Let's say you get hurt and you're buried on the depth chart. There's not a chance in hell you're going to be playing. I get it. But when something doesn't go your way, whether you ended up, you thought you were going to start and then you weren't, and now you're like, fuck this place, I'm out. That's not real life. There's not a lot of situations in real life where you can just pack up your shit and leave when you don't like something or something doesn't go your way. You can't really do that with a job, right? You can't do that. I just don't think it's real life. And mind you, it's probably one of the only times they'll get to do something like that where maybe they get to start fresh or whatever it may be. I think it incentivizes, you lose your grit. You lose that tenacity and that love for the game, which, Kirk Herbstreit kind of talked about a little bit and came under fire for. So Tubby Smith, who's a college basketball coach, longtime college basketball coach. Mind you, basketball transfer portal and the football transfer portal, very, very different.
Yes.
The basketball transfer portal is insane. It's out of hand. This is a few years ago. He had a great story. So he is longtime college basketball coach. He's now at High Point University or High Point College, where he actually played. And so back in the day, he was playing in like the 60s. And there was a story where he called his dad, kind of a situation where whether he didn't like the coach or maybe just wasn't getting enough playing time. And so he called his dad and he was like, hey, I want to come home. This isn't for me. I don't like it here. And so his dad asked him, are they feeding you? Are they paying for your education? Are they taking care of you? And Tubby Smith was like, yeah, they are. And then his dad was like, all right, well, you're not coming home. Your bed's already taken. You made a commitment. Either go get a job or join the Army.
Wow. That's some tough love.
Now, mind you, it was a different time. That was, 50, 60 years. Like, that's not, it's different, but it's also, you made a commitment. These players made a commitment to play for this school, right? Whatever school they went to. I think it incentivizes people to quit. And now let's talk about coaches, because the coaching carousel is also to blame. The coaching carousel is bananas.
Yeah.
Whether it's, you have people like Willie Taggart or Lincoln Riley or Brian Kelly, people who are leaving in the middle of the season or accept a job in the middle of the season. It's all about money at the end of the day. Yeah, coaching has changed where you get a new contract, you go to a new school, get a 3-4 year contract, get your $70-80 million and cash out, and the cycle repeats itself. It's all about money. And loyalty is dead.
Yeah, it is.
So, it comes down to really one question is, do you want a fat wallet or do you want a fat trophy room?
Yeah.
That's my case.
All right. I don't 100% disagree with you, but I like it because it's, to me, like free agency in pro sports. And if you're not happy somewhere or it isn't the way you thought it was going to be, or the coach leaves, something outside of your control happens to you, then you should have the option to leave. And why should you punish these young athletes for making these life-changing decisions by taking a year of eligibility away from them? I hated that part before they changed the rule. I understand that it has now incentivized it more, and that can be bad. The prime example of that, I think, is Tate Martell.
Yes. Yes.
Because if you don't know who Tate Martell was, he was the number 4 dual threat quarterback coming out of college. He was a stud. He was like the next big thing. Mm-hmm. And he's bounced around a lot. And he's never played a down in college, really. He's never been successful, and now he has 1 year of eligibility left, and his career is basically over. And you kind of sit back and look at his case and go, would it have been different if he would have sat behind somebody and learned and developed his skills in a program instead of just leaving. But he was like, nope, I'm Tate Martell. I'm out of here. I deserve to start now. So I understand how it can be bad, but you can't penalize these kids for making a decision that they think is the best for them. And it might be considered quitting, and some of it probably is. But for them, it's all about getting to the league. And to get to the league, you have to have playing time. You have to have film. And if you're not getting that at your college because because there's guys in front of you, and then when you're an upperclassman, they recruit above you. And so there's all these kind of factors. And the end goal is get to the league. You got to have film. You got to have stats. You got to have game tape. And if that's the end goal, the transfer portal is good for college football. Now, it is frustrating and it is kind of shitty when you have a coaching change and they just, like, half your team leaves. But again, that's because of the coaches. They went to play for that coach. And then when the situation changes, they feel like they have to make a change too to make the best of their opportunity, which I understand. I think the transfer portal is good. I understand what you're saying, but I don't think it's hurt college football as much as the people who are against it think that it has.
Mm-hmm.
Because look at somebody like Justin Fields.
Right.
Gets beat out at Georgia, transfers to Ohio State, absolutely excels. That's a positive.
Yeah, and you make some good points, and I agree with your points too. And what I also didn't like about the old transfer rules is that you had to sit out a year. You were punished.
Yeah.
Right, and it was weird if you transferred in conference or transferred out of conference. It was all these different factors, and now, yes, in the situations that seem to be acceptable for a player to leave to go and have a new start right away, that's great, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, obviously, there are cases where I think people just are take my ball, fuck this.
Yep, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, there's no clear answer, but I mean, I don't know.
It's better than here's the thing.
It's better than it used to be.
It's better than it used to be, but it's never going to be perfect. It's like the college football playoff system. It's better. What we have now is better than what we used to have in the BCS, but it's not perfect. And I don't think in sports you can ever have a perfect scenario, a perfect outcome when you change something like this, because there's always going to be ups and downs, and you're going to get critiqued no matter what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So just do what you think is best for the sport, and I think this has overall had a positive impact on college football.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always going to be haters, no matter what they do.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we'll never know. Let's move on to the wonderfully fantastic intern report. It's a quick one this week. I think we'll talk about this later too. The Raiders Chargers.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously the Raiders win in a walk-off field goal.
Game of the year.
No question.
Hands down game of the year.
That was an incredible game. Sad outcome.
Yep.
But I mean, it was, you thought it was over. Justin Herbert going down. Oh, I love him. We'll get into that later. Seahawks finally play good football.
Yeah, they played really well.
In a meaningless game.
Yeah. Build momentum for next year.
Yeah. And ended on a high note.
Yep.
End the season on a high note.
Now we got to wait for free agency.
Let's make some moves. Make some big money moves. Let's do it. The Ravens missed the playoffs with a loss to the Steelers. It's just a disappointing season for them.
I think the AFC North as a whole is fairly disappointing this year, because the Ravens and the Browns were some of the top picks in the preseason to go to the playoffs.
Yep.
Very underwhelming years for both of those franchises and organizations. I cannot believe the Ravens did not make the playoffs this year.
It's hard to believe.
It's shocking.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Lamar is hurt, but I mean,
But 8-9?
Yeah.
8-9? I had them going 13-4 in my preseason thing.
We need to look back at that.
Yeah.
Let's do that next week.
All right.
Let's see. Steelers going back to the playoffs. Big Ben's last ride.
Yeah. His final game's going to be an Arrowhead.
Yeah.
I don't think they have a shot in hell at winning that game.
Titans beat the Texans to clinch the number 1 seed. I didn't watch this game.
No.
We'll get into the Jaguars Colts.
Oh God.
Dolphins beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
And then the Browns beat the Bengals.
Yeah, but Joey B didn't play.
Right. Now, speaking of that intern, we're going to hear from the intern.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
Hopefully she's done crying from her massive, massive L last night.
God, this thing was rising up on me. Oh.
You love it when mics rise on you.
It's my favorite. All right. We're going to call the intern and make fun of her because her little school got demolished last night in the National Championship.
It was an embarrassment on national television.
It really was.
Hello.
Oh, hello, intern.
Boo.
Hello. Yay. No, yay, intern, yay.
Well, I think we were booing just like the school that you go to.
Yep.
And everything about
And
it.
your shitty coach and your fraudulent Heisman quarterback.
Yep.
And your overrated defense.
We should say your balding coach.
Yes.
He's balding.
It's not good.
It's hidden. He hides it.
Balding
I think it's
happens
because of
to
the
a lot
headset.
of men.
It's a perfect circle, a crop circle on the top of his head.
Do you think aliens have invaded his skull?
Well, he certainly has stadium seating hair. Have I told you about stadium seating? Where you're bald in the middle and then hair on the sides?
Like the Terry Bradshaw haircut?
Yeah, the field in the middle and then
It's not a haircut though. That's just like
it's a vibe.
that's just trying to save whatever you got left.
Yeah.
Anyways, hi intern. We thought that we would bring you on and
Roast me.
Yeah, roast you. So let's have a chat. How did you feel yesterday, pre-game, during game, and post-game?
Pre-game, obviously I was super excited, super hyped. My outfit was super cutie.
You said it about 7 times last night.
Yeah, my outfit was really cute. Maybe they can put it on the Instagram or something because it was really cute. But
who's they?
I don't know.
Are you expecting
talking about
us
us?
to post your outfit? No.
No, you do that.
No, I did. No, during the game I felt okay. After the game I was so unwell. I was down bad.
I mean, it was satisfying, especially. I mean, the game didn't heat up until the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
No,
like
it
the
really
first half
didn't.
was
Horrible.
very boring. It was very boring.
I mean, the score at halftime was 9-6, and it was strictly field goals, so nothing was happening.
That is exactly how you get that score.
Yes, I was more invested in the sushi that I was eating than the game itself.
Yeah,
it was good sushi.
It was good sushi, but that second half,
Yeah,
it was a pretty damn good national championship game.
Exciting, a lot of emotions for sure. Alabama just played undisciplined football. A lot of costly penalties, roughing the passer.
Lots of costly penalties.
PIs.
That one PI call was so bad. I understand why he did it, but Jesus.
Was that the one where he was like kind of like in front of him and like?
No, the one where he tackled the guy.
Oh. Well, I mean, he got beat. I
know.
I
agree with his decision to do that, but I hate that it's not a spot foul in college football because it was only a 15-yard penalty, and he was like 40 yards down the field. I mean, Georgia still ended up scoring on that drive, but
intern, what do you have hope for next year? Do you feel defeated? How are you feeling?
I mean, I don't know if you guys have been following ESPN today, but the transfer portal is popping.
Yeah,
There were seven players from Alabama and 2 from Georgia, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
And we were just talking about the transfer portal.
Oh, what great timing.
Excellent timing.
yes.
But I'm trying to think, what else do we want to ask you?
So I know Bryce Young's coming back, obviously. Is James Robinson, is he coming back, or was he a senior? Was this his last year?
I think he's a senior.
Okay, so he's done.
Well, it was really,
And then-
honestly, it was so satisfying last night.
And Mechie and Jamison Williams are also gone as well. So Tua's losing his top 3 weapons. Or not Tua, Jesus. Bryce Young. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, Jamison Williams going down with the ACL tear just really ruined the night.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
And he's a senior or junior. He's going to the draft.
He's going to the draft.
He's having surgery. Torn
ACL.
Doctors are saying that he can still keep his 4.3 speed if he gets surgery within the next 10 days.
Yeah, I believe it.
Kind of a sidebar, but have you guys ever seen the movie The Comebacks?
No.
It's like a really old movie or not old, but like 10 years ago when like parody movies were really big, but it makes fun of like all these different sports movies. And there's like one scene where this guy like breaks his leg and his knee goes completely backwards, and so they call him ACL tear. That's his name, like in the show. And they're like, "What's your name, sir?" And he's like, "ACL tear, sir." And like every time I hear ACL tear, I just always think of that guy like saluting the coach on the team and just ACL tear, sir.
Jesus.
Anything else for us, intern? I know you have to.
Oh my gosh.
It's a quick one tonight, but.
Did you guys see Stetson Bennett's GMA
Yes.
interview
was great.
this morning?
Yes.
Yeah,
he was unwell.
I mean, so the debate is: was he still hammered or was he just hungover?
He was probably still drunk.
Hammered. He was.
Yeah.
There's no way he went to bed last night.
No.
He was delirious.
He just that is that guy's dream coming true. Was that
I mean,
Georgia
it's a white
was
guy
his
with
dream
a
school.
Roman numeral in his name. Of
Yeah.
course, he's gonna get what he wants.
Yeah. Jesus.
intern
Oh,
dropping
man.
heat. Oh my goodness! Wow.
I've had a lot of time to think about this today.
What's his Roman? Was he 4?
Yeah.
The
Four.
4th? Stetson Bennett.
Stetson
the
Bennett
4th.
the 4th.
It's quite a name.
It is.
Well, anything else for us, intern?
No, that's it.
Okay. Well, we'll have to do something next week because we're going live next week
Nice.
for the 30th episode.
Big announcement.
Yay, 30th episode.
Big announcement. We're going live next week.
Just casually drop that in conversation.
Yeah. Well, intern, have a great night. Continue to cry yourself to sleep. And
Oh,
we
thank
will
you.
we'll talk to you later.
Go Dogs.
Sounds good.
Go Dogs.
Roll Tide.
That intern. All right. What do we got next here?
Let's do Mom Spaghetti because
Mom spaghetti.
yeah. Because mine was Down Goes Bama.
Perfect.
And so just to kind of reiterate what I was saying about Stetson Bennett the 4th, I was not a believer in that guy the whole year.
Nobody was.
Nobody was. And I was all about JT Daniels. Why isn't he playing? Who is this guy? He's not that good. And listen, I still don't think he's a top tier college football quarterback. He's a game manager and he knows what he is. But he balled last night after that fumble that was bizarre.
Is that the one where he like juked? No. Oh, sorry. The throw.
Yeah, the one where it just came out of his hand and then Alabama just happened to recover it. The guy didn't even know it was a fumble. It was just bizarre. But after that moment, he balled.
Mm-hmm. Fourth quarter.
He absolutely balled in the fourth quarter. And just to see his raw emotions after the game, that was the biggest moment of his life. It's everything he's dreamed of since he was a kid. And that's the kind of stuff that sports is about. Mm-hmm. Go to your dream school, win a national championship against your arch rival. That it doesn't get any better than that in the sports world. So congratulations to Stetson Bennett and all of Georgia. They deserve that. They were the best team in college football all year long, and they deserve the national championship.
Congrats to all of the Stetson Bennetts.
Yes, all four of
all
them.
Of them.
Is his kid going to be named Stetson Bennett?
We should get him on and ask him.
I feel like at that point,
You have to.
you just got to keep the tradition going.
Because the real decision was like probably when the second came around because you were junior.
Yeah.
And then you're like, am I going the Roman numerals route with the third?
Yeah.
And then I'm surprised the third went to the fourth, honestly, because I feel like you don't hear too many people with 4 in their name.
Yeah, you don't. It generally stops at 3. But but it's a good point. When you get to 4, you kind of have to go to 5.
You're at the point of no.
Right.
You're getting to 10.
Yeah.
Right.
The 10th.
Stetson Benton, the 10th.
We should bring him on here.
30 national champion. Stetson Bennett, the 10th.
30-30.
30-30.
30-30.
Were his 3 successors all athletes too?
I have no idea.
So they just had that name for no reason.
Let's see.
Didn't even do anything cool with it.
Let's look it up.
But now that name will live in infamy.
Stetson Bennett the 3rd. I just Googled Stetson Bennett 3.
Not even Roman numerals.
Nope. I don't care.
It's not that important.
We should just get him on. We should get him really messed up before, and then have him come on, just like he did Good Morning America.
I think he's a little too big for us now.
Nobody's too big for us.
He was on GMA. Dude.
We have interviewed one person in person. Cyrus Abibilikio. Good luck. He's going to the draft.
Yeah, going to
Good
the
luck
draft.
to Cyrus. He's getting ready.
He's down in Florida right now training.
Yep. I've been stalking his Instagram.
Yep.
Cyrus, love to have you back on before the draft. Okay. My Mom Spaghetti. It's a man who I'm infatuated with. Who I would make my husband. His name is Justin Herbert. I once had an accident in my pants at his childhood home. That's a true story.
That's the highlight of your life.
That is the highlight of my life. So Chargers Raiders was just a bananas game.
Yep.
He played so well. So there was 2 massive 4th down conversions. Game tying touchdowns with no time left. I'm just so proud of him. The entire University of Oregon universe is so proud of him. We got to see him play against Marcus for a little bit. I'm just so proud of him, and I'm so happy for him. Unfortunately, his goddamn defense can't stop the run.
Yeah.
They're the worst in the league. Brandon Staley went from the greatest defensive mind in the league as the DC of the Rams to now. What?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well,
You have Derwin James. You have Joey Bosa.
I understand, but it's more than just 2 players
I know.
on that defense.
I know.
And they're gonna that's where they have to get better this offseason.
I mean, end of last offseason, Herbert was the most pressured. He was the most pressured QB in the league his rookie year. They went out. They signed a bunch of offensive linemen. Protection seems a lot better this year.
Yep.
So hopefully they're able to now
Yeah.
just go get studs.
They fixed their biggest problem from last year to this year. So if you want to keep growing as an organization, that's what you have to do every year. You have to fix your problems.
Yep.
They have to fix their run defense.
Mm-hmm.
They have to. They got to build from front to back.
Yep. I still like Brandon Staley.
Yep.
He's one of these these young guys who gets it. But I'm so proud of how he played and just his season as a whole this year. Some of the throws that he had. I mean, it's mind blowing.
It really is.
What he's able to do with the pigskin. And with that, let's get into another fantastic segment of ours. Are you serious?
Are you serious?
And since we're talking about the Chargers, please go ahead.
Yeah, so Brandon Staley calling that timeout with 38 seconds left. He said that they weren't in the right personnel grouping, which I'm not completely on board with because they ran the ball on the last play and the Chargers didn't sub. The Raiders didn't sub. So it was the same personnel as the play before.
They were expecting to. How would you not expect the Raiders to run the ball?
Yeah. After that, I don't understand how you're not in the right personnel grouping from the previous play when they were in the same personnel grouping. Like, if you realize on 2nd down that you're not in the right personnel grouping, then change it on 3rd down. And he doesn't, and then he calls a timeout with 4 seconds on the play clock. The Chargers were just going to run the ball, the Raiders were just going to run the ball, and the game was going to be over. It was going to be a tie.
Mm-hmm.
And then they called a timeout, and the Raiders were like, well, I guess we'll kick a field goal now. Got the 1st down, kick a field goal. You're not going to the playoffs.
Yep.
I don't understand. I still think he's a good head coach. I like him as a head coach. He's super aggressive with excuse me, with his fourth down calls.
Yeah.
He had one though in that game where it was like a 4th and 3 on his own 19, and he went for it.
And they just ran dive, and it just got
blown up. Like I like the aggressive play calling. I really do. The analytics support it. But there's being aggressive and there's being really, really dumb. And that was really, really dumb. That fourth down call. You just don't go for it on fourth down unless it's your last drive of the game on your own 19-yard line. That's not something you do. That's not a winning formula. And he's gotten absolutely scrutinized for some of his fourth down calls this year. But I like it. I think at the end of the day, you are going to win more playoff games if you're more aggressive. You might lose a couple because of the aggressive play calling, but I think over time...
He's a new head coach.
Yeah, he's a new head coach. He's figuring it out.
I don't... If you're going to go for it on 4th and 3 and you're on 19, why would you run dive?
I don't know.
It's like, there's more in that playbook.
Yeah.
There's more. But
because if you're going to run a play on 4th and 3 from your own 19, you don't have a 4th and 3 section. You have a 3rd and 3 section on your play call sheet. And it's all your 3rd and 3 play call section is a hell of a lot deeper than Austin Eckler dive.
mm-hmm.
You probably have 15 to 20 plays in your 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 5 range. Why not use one outside of dive?
Very frustrating. But, I mean, Herbie still had a great season.
Yeah.
That should not be overlooked.
I don't know why he called the timeout.
Yeah. They were going to the Raiders admitted they were going to need the ball.
Yep.
They were gonna. They were gonna. For my Are You Serious? This is just hysterical to me. The Indianapolis Colts. Are you serious? Are you serious? You blew a playoff spot. You lost to the worst team, the steaming pile of monkey crap that is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh my God. They just wasted an incredible season from Jonathan Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Wasted. And Darius Leonard. Oh my God. Darius Leonard said after the game, "You're tired of looking for help. Always looking for help when we can't help ourselves. We go into a game. This team, Jacksonville, is 2-14. We're not taking anything away from them, but how do we expect to win or want to get in if we can't even beat the team we were supposed to beat?" So the Colts rebounded this season from an 0-3 and a 1-4 start. And they, at one point, were considered the dark horse of the AFC.
Yeah, they were playing damn good. After they beat the Patriots in prime time, everybody was like, watch out for the Colts.
Yep. Jonathan Taylor exploded onto the scene. Carson Wentz looked competent. Competent. And now they had 7 players go to the Pro Bowl. And they didn't go to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And like everybody was talking about the Jacksonville curse, they haven't won in Jacksonville or London since 2014. And they did not. They trailed from the start. And what's so hysterical is that the Colts got hosed in that Carson Wentz trade because they took on $103 million of cap space to fit Carson Wentz's contract. They gave up a first-round draft pick and then a second-round conditional pick that turned into a first-round pick if Carson Wentz played 75% or more of the snaps this season, and he played like 95. So now the Eagles, they have 3 first-round picks and are going to the playoffs and relieved themselves of $103 million in cap and relieved themselves of Carson Wentz. Oh, wow. Are you serious, fellas?
Yeah. They'll be fine next year, though.
Jonathan Taylor, that man is nice.
Yeah.
Number 1 fantasy pick next year.
Oh,
No.
without a doubt.
No question. Let's get on to, so now, the regular season is over. It's the time where we start thinking about awards.
Should we do Black Monday first?
Oh, yes, let's go back to that. Would you like to go ahead?
Yeah, so Black Monday, it's the Monday after the regular season ends, which was, of course, yesterday. And that is the day of head coach firings in the NFL, and there were 5 in total. Flores of the Dolphins, Zimmer of the Vikings, Joe Judge today of the Giants, Nagy of the Bears, and Fangio of the Broncos. None of these really surprised me, besides Flores.
Yeah.
The Dolphins started really, really bad, but then they won 8 straight football games, which is extremely hard to do in the NFL. I was surprised by that. I think he's a pretty good head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what they're thinking or where they're going to go from here. I think their bigger problem is Tua. He's good enough to get to the playoffs, but he's never going to be a top 5 guy in the league. I think that's pretty obvious at this point. He misses some throws that just make you shake your head, that guys who are in the National Football League should never be missing. I think it's more of a Tua problem, not a head coaching problem. They decided to fire their head coach and probably stick with Tua for the foreseeable future, at least until his rookie contract runs out. That's 2 more years. I don't know. It kind of surprised me. I think the best job, hands down, that opened is the Vikings.
Yep.
There's no question about it. I said it after they lost to the Lions. I said, that's the nail in the coffin for Mike Zimmer. He's done. They fired him. And that's an attractive job opening. I was high on the Vikings in the beginning of the year. I think their win total was 7.5 in Vegas, and I had them winning 10 games and making the playoffs. They only won 8. They missed the playoffs. Whatever. But it's a good roster from top to bottom.
You got Justin Jefferson,
Thielen,
Cook,
Dalvin Cook. Yeah, there are weapons on offense. Granted, you have Kirk Cousins as your quarterback. That's an issue, but it's not as big of an issue as head coach was. I agree with the firing, and that is the most attractive job in the NFL.
No question. In regards to the Miami job, I think I was reading that Dolphins fans are shocked that they let go of Flores, because what I understand is that their general manager, Chris Greer, seems to be the problem, and that they let go Flores, who's had back-to-back winning seasons. Mind you, didn't go to the playoffs, but they won 7 straight games this year.
They're in a tough division.
The Bills and the Patriots. He went 4-2 against the Patriots.
Yeah,
in his time. I don't know. Didn't really give him a chance.
Yep.
I mean,
no.
Yeah, Tua as his guy. I'm not a believer in Tua.
I'm not either.
Let's see. I mean, and then you look at Matt Nagy, who was fired.
Weeks ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah, that decision was made a long time ago to let him go. He's been a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, he famously drafted Mitch Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Just not it. Zimmer has been solid, right? But they've reached their ceiling.
Yeah.
They need a new face.
It's time.
And the Broncos, they're a strange team. They're a very strange team. They just don't have a good quarterback.
That's the second most attractive job to me, is the Broncos, because that defense is legit. They're very good. But they do not have a quarterback. They tried Teddy Bridgewater. He got hurt. Drew Lock.
I don't know, man.
I don't either, but I can tell you this. He's not going to win you a Super Bowl. He's not.
But he's dripping in swag.
Yeah, he is. And I don't think that they go quarterback this year, because it's the draft is very light in quarterbacks this year. So they probably give him 1 or 2 more years before they decide to move on.
Same thing with the Vikings. They'll keep Kirk
Kirk?
Cousins because
Yeah.
the draft class this year is not going to be great.
Yeah,
I don't even know what next year looks like, but
right. I mean, and really, the question, I think, of the offseason is going to be, where does Aaron Rodgers go? He could very well stay in Green Bay, but if the Broncos hire a head coach, I could see him going there. I don't know. And then it's going to be Russell Wilson, and then we'll see what happens with Deshaun Watson. But if
my God.
if the Broncos can land one of those 3 quarterbacks, I think they're probably one of the favorites out of the AFC next year. So
Yeah.
that would be the only way I see them moving on from Drew Lock.
All right. Now, let's get into the end of the year. Our picks for the end of the year player awards. Why don't you lay yours out first?
All right, MVP, I'm going Tom Brady. He threw for 5,300 yards and 43 touchdowns at the age of 43 years old. I'm sorry, that's absurd. He is like fine wine, and he gets a whole lot better with age. It doesn't make sense how he's still putting up these kind of numbers. And he had just an absolutely incredible year. I think it's Tom Brady, hands down. Offensive Player of the Year, Jonathan Taylor, 1,800 rushing yards, 360 receiving yards, 18 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp is probably the other option, but he had more yards from scrimmage. Granted, he had roughly 150 more touches, but he just had such an incredible year. I don't think there's another option there. Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt, ties the sack record at 22.5, and he did it in the same amount of games as Michael Strahan did it. And I think that's a big deal because with all these single-season records that are going to be broken now, at least for me, there's going to be an asterisk by him because we're now in a 17-game format instead of a 16-game format. And TJ Watt played 15 games this year, 22.5 sacks. And when Michael Strahan set the record, he played in 15 games. It is hard to get to the quarterback 22.5 times. He is so clearly the focal point of that organization and such a big leader. He is a freak. He's everywhere. When he's on the field, you know it. And when he doesn't play, you know it. Because that defense takes a major, major dive when he is not on the field. Defensive Rookie of the Year, without a question, it is Micah Parsons. That man's a freak. Steal of the draft. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jamar Chase. He had a great, great year. After some questions in the preseason about him being able to track the football, I think he was just clowning everybody.
No, I think it was taken out of context. He said it was
difficult to track the ball in the air because it doesn't have the stripes on it.
Yeah.
That's what he said. And everybody was like, oh. And he had a bunch of drops in the preseason, so everybody was like,
that's right. People Bengals fans were not happy with him.
They were not. And then he's Joe Burrow's number one target and just had an absolutely monster year. The guy's insane. Comeback Player of the Year, Joe Burrow. He played great, 4,600 passing yards, 30-some-odd touchdowns, 14 picks. He had a great year. To come back from that ACL injury, not just an ACL, it was his whole knee. His whole knee was gone. It was destroyed. And he tore it in week 10 of last year, and nobody thought that he was going to be ready for the start of the season this year. He absolutely balled, and the Bengals kind of coming out of nowhere this year. I don't think anybody picked them to win the AFC North, and they did it. They shocked a lot of people, and it's because of that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase connection. They picked up right where they left off at LSU. They are very dynamic. That's going to be a connection that's going to be feared in the NFL for the next 10, 12 years.
Yeah, it's exciting
It is.
for them.
Yeah, that Bengals fans should be very excited. And then my coach of the year is Mike Vrabel. After Derrick Henry goes down, the way that they've just kept up playing at such a high level, it's amazing. He's a great coach, and I feel like the Titans kind of flew under the radar the last half
100%.
of the season. Nobody's talking about them. They're the number 1 seed in the AFC. It's mind blowing. And now they get Derrick Henry back in the playoffs. He's fresh. He's healthy. Watch out for the Titans. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with in these playoffs.
These playoffs are going to be nuts.
Yeah.
Okay. So for my picks, we have some crossovers. So for my MVP, I took Aaron Rodgers. Man threw for 4,100 yards.
It's not 5,300.
37 touchdowns.
It's not 43
picks.
touchdowns.
I understand. But he's had such a weird year going into it, the preseason, and then the whole, vaccine thing. He just shut everybody up and has just been playing. He hasn't lost same thing with Brady. They haven't lost a step. It's just amazing to watch what he does. I think it's Rodgers. I did honorable mentions.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. He's had a great year, but Tom Brady at 44.
Statistically, yes,
Brady has just been lights out this year.
I know. My honorable mention is Cooper Kupp for MVP, but I have Cooper Kupp winning Offensive Player of the Year.
It's a quarterback. Let's just face the reality of it. It's a quarterback award.
It's a quarterback. So Offensive Player of the Year, I took Cooper Kupp. Almost 2,000 yards receiving on 145 catches, 16 touchdowns. That's absurd. Honorable mention, Jonathan Taylor. Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt, with an honorable mention of Micah Parsons. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jamar Chase. Honorable mention, Mac Jones.
Yep.
Who second best steal of the draft.
Yeah, Mac Jones is probably gonna win it.
Yeah.
In the official awards, but for my awards, it's Jamar Chase.
Mac Jones. You see there was an interview that he did in the preseason where he was goofing around, having fun, and then by like week 4, he's like, "Yep, we need to do better. Yep, got some things we have to." Yeah, he's totally bought in.
Yep,
100%
it is
bought in.
You want to talk about a perfect place?
Mm-hmm.
Like you get drafted, and it's like, yes, that was the perfect fit.
More likable than Tom Brady.
Way more likable.
And I'm not a Patriots fan. Let me be very clear. Let me be clear, America. But I don't hate them as much as I do now. Or as much as I did back then, I should say. Defensive Player of the Year, or Defensive Rookie of the Year, Micah Parsons. Honorable mention, Pat Surtain.
Yeah, he had a great year.
Yep. For my comeback, I chose Dak. And it's a toss-up because my honorable mention is Joey B. Dak, obviously, I think even if he had a competent, like an okay season, I think he's still getting the award. I think it's Dak, even though they both came back from horrific injuries.
Yeah,
I just think Dak is. I'm not going to say more well known, but has more pull.
He plays for the Cowboys.
Has been in the league longer. I think it's going to be Dak. My coach of the year is Zach Taylor.
That was my other pick for coach of the year.
An honorable mention to Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Of the Eagles.
Yep.
So
they got hot late.
They got hot. Oh my God. My dark horse next year in the NFC is the Eagles. So we'll see.
Jalen Hurts is statistically having a better start to his career than Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
And nobody's talking about it.
Yep.
Nobody.
Except that one guy on TikTok.
Exactly. But people shit on that guy. Why? Everybody loves Lamar. He's just not as fast. He's not as flashy as Lamar, but he's the same player.
Mm-hmm. Let's get into some hot, spicy takes. We haven't done this in a while either. May I?
Yeah.
My hot take is that the Washington football team will be named something that is not listed on the odds. So
isn't it didn't it get leaked? Isn't it the Commanders?
What? Is it?
I thought I saw a leaked logo. It might have been fake. I don't know. But I thought it was the Commanders.
Uh-oh. Well, so obviously the Washington football team, formerly known as the Redskins, they have decided, they've made an announcement that they're going to be announcing the name
On the 2nd.
February 2nd. I think and obviously there's been a bunch of speculation for like the past year and a half of what it's going to be. And so on the odds right now, according to DraftKings, Commanders is the favorite.
Because it got leaked.
Uh-oh. Commanders, Admirals, staying with the WFT, the Red Hogs.
Dude, if they announce that they're going to announce their new name and they're like making this big deal out of it, and then they're like, we're still the Washington football team.
It would be the most Washington football team move for them to make an announcement to then announce that they're going to stay the Washington football team.
That's so dumb. It's like when the Browns came out with their new jerseys and then they made this big thing about it, and it was like, they're the same jerseys.
It's brown.
Yeah. It's an orange is brown. Like, this is not exciting.
I have an idea for the WFT. The Washington Broken Stadiums.
That place is a shithole.
Yep. Literally, shithole.
Yes.
There was poo-poo.
There's been poo-poo like a couple times this year.
There's been too much poo-poo.
Yeah.
There's also the Defenders, the Brigade, and the Presidents, which is fucking stupid.
No.
Fucking.
So I'm looking at this leak thing, and some guy on Reddit posted like a sheet with like the logo on it, like a new logo, and it's literally just a W. It's not even cool, and it's the same colors and everything. But people are like speculating all sorts of stuff. Most people say it's the Commanders because that's what it like says in the bottom right corner, all blurred out. And then a lot of other people are speculating there might be the Admirals because in the logo there's a very clear A hidden within the W.
I think they both suck.
They're both terrible.
The Commanders.
It's better than football team.
The Commanders, all of them sound, except for maybe like the Red Hogs.
I think they had one that was called the Armada.
Yeah,
I saw that was one. That one's kind of dope.
Armada is pretty good, but like the Commanders, the Admirals, Defenders, Brigade, and they all sound like soccer team names.
They do.
Yeah.
It sounds like MLS teams.
Yeah, because you have like the DC Defenders.
Right. It's
Yeah.
like, come on.
I mean, they're just trying to stay so clear of any sort of like backlash. I feel like
Yeah,
they're trying to go as safe as possible with these names.
I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I think Red Tails should be their name because it was the first African-American Air Force battalion.
Yeah.
Battalion.
Battalion.
Group in World War II. So
Red Tails is cool.
it's a cool name. It pays homage to American history. That would be my pick if I was Dan Snyder, which I would hate to be Dan Snyder because that guy's a piece of shit.
He has a rough life. Well, he's an NFL owner, so like his life is not really rough.
Yeah, but there's
he's
so much controversy
he's
around that
a total
guy.
scumbag.
He is a scumbag.
Scrooge of the year, Dan Snyder. I like Red Wolves too. Red Wolves is pretty good. But
There's no such thing as a red wolf, though.
well, you could take a wolf and spray paint.
well,
it red.
what's a red tail?
It's like I said, it was the first African American.
No, I know what the historic
plane.
meaning, but like as an animal, is the red tail a real thing? It's just a plane.
It was a plane, and the reason they called them the red tails is because they would
all flew the
paint
planes.
They would all fly these planes, and the tails on the plane were all painted red.
Gotcha.
So
However,
they could identify each other.
There is a red-tailed hawk.
Yes, I know,
Um,
but I'm pretty sure their mascot would be a plane.
yes. And let's get back to and return to our semi-favorite.
You're not gonna let me go?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wow.
My God, I skipped you and the intern almost.
You did.
Wow,
You did.
I'm a naughty boy.
Yeah. My hot take: the Bengals are winning the Super Bowl. It's spicy, I know, but their passing attack is one of the most feared passing attacks in the league. They have deep threats. They got speedy guys. Joe Mixon is actually having a good year for once. They are very good. I think the AFC is weaker. And what they did to the Chiefs just a couple weeks ago was shocking to everybody. Mm-hmm. They shredded that defense. I think if they have to play the Chiefs, they will beat them. And then the championship game in Nashville against the Titans, it's going to be hard for them to try to slow down Derrick Henry. But again, I think their passing attack just prevails. It's so good. It's so complex. They shred people. Nobody's been able to stop them all year long. Bengals, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
It's my pick out of the AFC.
That is a
And-
Taco Bell dump.
But
Fire.
also, you got to look at who's hot right now because the playoffs are all about momentum and who got hot late in the year. The Bengals are hot.
Bengals, Eagles.
Yeah. I don't think the Eagles are good enough to come out of the NFC, but momentum is big. And if you're playing well right now, then you have a legit shot. And the Bengals are playing damn good football right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, if that happens, I'll give you $5.
All right.
$5. You heard it here first. The intern's hot take is Jalen Waddle for offensive rookie of the year.
No.
Mm-mm.
She's just wrong. I'm sorry. I know he had 104 catches. He broke the rookie record, but come on. No.
I didn't even see him on the odds. But
No.
that's why it's a hot take.
Yeah. It's a hard no for me.
And now we can officially arrive at our semi-favorite segment, Line of the Week. That goddamn intern is still in the lead.
Mm-hmm.
She has a 1-game lead, or a half-game lead, excuse me. No, 1.5. 1.
Half.
I don't know.
Half.
Fine. Okay, so she's 9-6. We also did we decide that that conference championship?
Conference championships
is the final.
Yes.
Okay. So the intern's line of the week: Bengals -5.5 versus the Raiders. I do like that.
I do too. I almost picked it.
Yep. I am in second place at 8-6-1, and I am taking the Buffalo Bills versus -4 versus the Patriots.
And I am 7-7-1, and I got the 49ers +3 against the Cowboys. I think they win that football game.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
It's good to be back. Should we?
Good to be back. Going live next week. We'll post on our Instagram.
Yep.
So be out on the look for it.
Yep. Be out on the look.
Yep.
Be out on the look.
Be out on the look
Be
for it.
out looking.
Be
Yep.
looking.
Yep. Get in your truck and drive around.
Yeah. But you done look for that live link. Take us out.
And that will conclude another spectacular episode of the Backburners. Shout out to the ugliest co-host of all time, Pinhead Larry, our loser of an intern, and our wonderful producer Fabio.
A wonderful producer.
I love that I'm the
Yeah.
only one that gets like a slight compliment. tonight.
Make sure to give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok at the Backburners Pod, and listen to us on your favorite streaming service. We're the Backburners, and we'll catch you on the flippity flip.